What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Welcome back. Good to we're just saying good to be on a call with everybody again.
Oh, yeah.
Post holiday rush. I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling that. Excited to be getting into things. So we'll be here every Monday 5 p.m. Eastern, hanging out with you guys, answering questions, all that good stuff. And let us know who we got. Let us know your goals for the new year, all that good stuff. Good to be back.
Indeed here. Damn, that's fire. Yeah, you got the Ralph Lauren action right there, or something along those lines here. Cool. What's up, Luigi?
Ralph is my favorite, man.
Cool.
Love that dude.
Ralph Lauren Tennis Club. Okay, that makes sense. G-Body Events. How goes things?
Good. Just got back to PA yesterday, late yesterday.
Yeah. Were you with Dan when I called him?
Yeah, I think we were in an Uber.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Vibes. Cool. SVT. What up? Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Cool. All right. Sweet. So, yeah, any questions y'all got about starting or growing your Amazon business, let us know. As well as Warner and I have a free live class tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. You should totally tune into as well. The first one of the year. So if you want to start and grow your Amazon business, that is the best place to be right there. Biggest obstacle is ungating. So it might feel bad to get declined for brands here and there, but you just have to understand that getting denied is normal. It's typically going to happen like 10 to 20 times per brand you're applying for. But as a beginner, in my opinion, in 2026, you should primarily be selling auto-ungate ASINs to start, which you can watch some videos on our channel about how to actually find profitable auto-ungate stuff while ungating one or two big brands that once they open up will give you access to dozens or potentially hundreds of items to go after. So mainly focus on auto-ungate items to start. There's a lot of good videos on our channels about how to actually go ahead and find those there, Tom, as well. So the big thing is you shouldn't actually be worried about ungating much as a beginner. Just focus on stuff you can sell right away from the get-go. And then once you get like 1, 2, maybe 3K in sales, a lot more stuff becomes auto-ungate too and everything. But if ungating didn't work, there'd be no sellers on all these listings.
I feel like they tend to make it a little bit easier outside of Q4 too. So I'm curious how it'll change. They always throw a bunch of stuff at us during Q4 and gets a little more seller friendly every Q1, it seems like.
Yeah, I agree.
Has everything been increased like the 100 units, or are there still any OG 10-unit brands?
Oh, the vast
Nike
majority
is still
of things.
10 units for me.
Yeah, almost everything. But some stuff will be 100 piece or a couple more. I'm in Ukraine now. Ooh, okay.
So I want to, Tom, auto-ungate is where all the beginners are selling.
Good, because it makes
true. I'll tell you what. I auto-ungated in 2 brands today while I was sourcing, and one of them had 3 FBA sellers on it. They're out there. I promise.
Yeah, and the big thing is where a lot of people forget with auto-ungating is they forget to hit apply to sell and request approval. They think if they see that apply to sell button, it automatically means it's gated right there. But like, for example, I'll put an ASIN in chat that most likely is going to auto-ungate. And what that is basically is most people just forget to hit apply to sell. If it says that, you actually have to go ahead and do that. And then you can see if it actually is auto-ungate or not. So if it says sell yours, then it's auto-ungate. And if it says apply to sell, hit apply to sell and request approval. And then it'll either let you list it right away and everything, or it'll either, 90%. So the key there,
it's also just not true.
You're not looking at
stuff products, on YouTube videos. If you watch a lot of the old stuff, you probably see like we're like looking at what we used to like to sell, like Nike and that kind of stuff.
But it's only a couple brands. That would still only be like 2 or 3 brands you'd be looking at right there. So you gotta look at a little bit more there, Tom.
Yeah, the main thing is like everyone's gonna find different things they like to source too, and different things you're gonna be able to get approved on and all that. So you just got to find like, you need 3 or 4 brands that you like to sell a lot of in a sea of good brands to sell, get good at sourcing those. And then you just kind of start popping onto kind of similar products and whatever comes your way.
The ungating landscape is really fragmented too. Like I've been on the platform for like 14, 15 years. There's stuff that I can't sell that friends of mine who have been on the platform for a year can sell. It's just weird.
Well, I mean, same thing with like the famous Corey Gillette stuff. right? Corey found the ultimate loophole with the Gillette brand, and no one else could. And it was for no reason too. Because I mean, a lot of people have been selling for longer than Corey, but he could, for whatever reason, sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch most from Ross and Marshalls. Yeah. I think, I mean, naturally, like, I just think, Tom, you got to look at some more stuff because I just know for a fact that that's the case. So I ran a survey on Warner and I's students for December. And on 190, it was like 190-ish responses. We had over 20 mil in revenue across them. But then the median was like 40 or 50. Basically, we're averaged out. It gets higher with some big sellers. There's clearly opportunity.
For the audience, Miles?
What's that?
Can you define a median for the audience?
No, dude, ChatGPT made it on the data. But median, no. All right. First of all, let's get G-Body Vens out of there. Okay. So
first one of the year.
Median.
That's true.
Unfortunately, I don't even know if that's accurate.
10 people did 10K, 10 people did 20K, 10 people did 50K. The median would be the fifth of the 20Ks. That was right in the middle of it. Right, I believe. I might be wrong on that. It doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure I'm right on
Garrett failed the pop quiz. He failed the sixth grade math pop quiz gotcha moment.
Yeah, and I got that shit. Yeah.
Wait, so seller connects to the seller account, right? Can you not extrapolate a list of ungated brands for a user?
Yeah, you can. To my knowledge, you can. Yeah.
No.
That would be sick. If like you can go to the seller app and be like, hey, give me a list of all the brands I'm actually ungated for.
The problem is that information is not available in the API.
Yeah.
That's why it is.
But like it's available on the per brand basis, obviously. Right. So
we've looked into it. It violates Amazon's API if we try to do both.
Yeah. Okay. That totally makes
sense.
So
it would be cool, and then seller amp wouldn't exist anymore. We would be removed. So that would be cool for a day.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. FBA Damon says, yo, first live, got my seller count approved. Let's get it, man. There we go. Let's get it. As a beginner who's gated even books, it's not that you're gated in books, it's that you're gated in certain brands of books, right? Now in terms of in general, right, like primarily focus on auto ungates, and the categories I've seen the most auto ungates in are definitely clothing, tools, and then beauty stuff, but just focus on that if you're seeing in our auto ungate sourcing videos right there. Found nothing at all that's odd. Okay, so we're going to institute a live rule. You have to hit apply to sell and request approval right there. I'm going to drop some ASINs that I know for a fact will auto-engage for you guys in chat. But you have to hit apply to sell and request approval. And if you storefront stock from there, you'll find other stuff in there too as well. I promise. But you got to hit apply to sell and request approval. Where a lot of people go wrong is they don't hit that, right? And then they think that stuff is gated when it's not. Right.
Leon's asking a good non-ungating question. If you guys have ungating questions, you can literally we have good YouTube videos and stuff you can just dive into. It's like pretty fundamental.
If I can say just one more thing on the ungating thing. So I see you said I've requested dozens. No offense. Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers, man. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And either way,
those are rookie numbers in this racket or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year I ungated 4,000 brands. Auto ungate. 4,000 brands. I probably clicked that ungate button like 24,000 times. It's no joke. So they're out there. You just got to do way more work than anybody thinks is necessary.
Yeah. All right, Damon, use those ASINs I put in chat right there too as well. Good question from Chris here. What do you do if you see the buy box as suppressed? Yes. So buy box being suppressed and it not having buy box are synonymous. I know some of the different tools use different things right there. And basically what that means is that it's probably going to sell slower than it did when it had a buy box, but there's phenomenal listings that still that have no buy box, right? So if you see on Keepa, there's no pink line, right? That means there's no buy box at that time. But if you can still see movement in it, it's something you want to do. So I see a lot of sellers will, they'll automatically avoid stuff if Amazon's on it, automatically avoid stuff if there's no buy box, automatically avoid stuff if there's no sales rank, right? And that's not the correct way to do it. You might hear some people recommend that to beginners that are kind of just getting into it, but over time, you're going to learn that nuance. And kind of similar to any industry, you're going to get more comfortable with, and there's going to be more money there or you're going to find money that you previously wouldn't. No, with that in mind, as you get better with Keepa and everything. So that's a nice thing about sticking around. Furthermore, with that survey that I did, basically, your average sales double on year 1 to year 2, and then they almost 4x compared year 2 to year 4 as well. So it pays in any industry, but especially this one, to stick around and give yourself some time to build a little momentum, because a lot of people just quit way too soon. Ooh, okay.
Sure.
Do reorder?
Yeah.
In almost every case, yes. Very, very rarely, no. But even if they do order cancel, typically there's a way to get around it. So a very, very good question there.
Yeah. Though a lot of times they'll have like a verbiage or something that says like, don't resell from us.
No,
but, like,
almost always, yeah.
You're
Just
you're good to
because
go.
just because a website says you can't do it doesn't mean that it's illegal. There's a difference between terms and conditions and what's against the law.
But it's
kind of
important
the,
when we're talking about beating order cancels, to kind of go back to, what was it, like 8th grade science class, when we do that, like the science experiment, right? You want to isolate why they're canceling it. So change order quantity, right? Change the payment method, PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, gift cards, right? I think a lot of people sleep on gift cards specifically, even if they're not discounted, as a way to get through order cancellations, right? Changing the product, right? There's a lot of different things you can change to try and beat that order cancellation. Again, it's not the site doesn't want your money. It's just that they have all these fraud detection programs implemented to protect you guys.
Yeah, kind of the one of the, basically a theme of being an entrepreneur is pushing past the things that tell you not to do them in the right way. So you're getting order cancels and all that kind of stuff, or obviously you're gonna have roadblocks of all kinds. See, Leon, you're asking a good question earlier, saying when you're buying from sites, do you need a couple of different accounts to avoid cancels? So usually, like, making different accounts isn't like the best way to go. Like, tactically, order cancel is going to be like gift cards, using some PayPal, switching up the address every time you place the order. And honestly, if one of those 3 does not get you through consistently, I'm not going to waste too much effort there. Like, I know a lot of people will sit there and try a million different ways, but I'm just going to try to spend some effort on sites that don't make me jump through hoops, because then when you find stuff, you buy as much as you need. And it sounds like the oversimplified answer, but that's really just what you got to do.
Yeah, just putting in more
There are
work.
a lot of them
Yeah.
out there. There's a lot of sites out there that don't mind you ordering a ton.
Yeah. Plus, even if you do have, like, you'll start to find like a site that you can get away with $1,000 a day. Okay, I'll just do that every day. Okay, now I have 5 of those. That adds up really quick.
Yeah,
And you
that'd
just have
be
like a small
300K a
rotation
month.
of sites that, even though they might not want you to buy 100K, like, you can still go in there and spend 10, 20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay, good. Chris, you want to go into some of the nuance on how this works? This is another very, very important one that can unlock a lot of profitability with good knowledge of it.
Yeah, this is a tough. So first of all, IP complaints are not the nail in the coffin they once were. 3-4 years ago, you get an IP complaint and then you got a suspension coming pretty quickly after that. And that's not the case anymore. Typically, you can beat most IP complaints by showing that the item is legitimate. If there's an IP complaint flag, you do want to keep it as a piece of data. You want to consider it. But if you don't see any drastic drops in the number of sellers, it's probably okay to sell. The biggest thing is if you see it drop off a cliff without the sales rank also dropping off a cliff, then you may want to go another direction, because it can be just a pain in the neck to deal with. And then you got to deal with sourcing and fighting an IP complaint and the stress that comes with it. But we sell on several brands that are known or have IP, or have tags with IP complaints, and we just don't have any issues.
Plus, if you get good at looking through that stuff, like, a lot of people are skipping it, and it's completely safe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oral-B is a perfect example. The whole brand has that IP alert, but it's perfectly fine to sell.
And there's a difficulty in managing IP alerts, no matter what software you get it from, because brands will start and stop and start again. And Starbucks is a great example. They issued IP complaints on their coffees, but not their mugs. And they did it for about 2 weeks, and then they quit and they had to go build another store or something. So it's very weird.
They got bored after a couple weeks. Said
It's
you guys
also
are
important
good.
to evaluate multiple different items if there's a question within a brand, right?
Mhm.
Click on, go check out 3, 4, 5 different SKUs. If all of them have that same sort of drop off, or if there's some of them that are, only have 1 or 2, or if the brand shows up on any of the products within the listing, that's another thing to look into.
Bang, bang. Makes sense. Yeah. So whatever questions y'all got, keep them coming right there too, as well. We went into it a little bit last week, Chris, but break down some of the growth in the industry in 2025.
Still waiting on numbers for Q4. But the last I saw, they were expecting 9% growth in Q4 of 2025 in e-commerce. Not quite that big across total retail, but total retail in the world is expected to top 6 trillion this year in 2026. Yeah, it's an insane number. That is global that's global retail. But the US is gonna do like 1.5 to 2 trillion of that. It's insane.
That's not too bad.
Oh, good question from Chris here. Would you still list something that comes up saying private label in yellow? Okay, let's break this down. Very, very good question there. I'm going to show an example of that. Let's see here. All right. So, or actually not specifically an example, but just how to think about that when you do see it. So if we go here, so taking a look at this here. So popping in here. So say you see, which this listing doesn't have it, but say you see a listing that has the suspected private label alert in SellerAmp. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it is private label. It just means suspected. And what you need to do is go down to the list of sellers here and see if the only seller is the brand or if the brand's dominating the whole listing. So say there was one seller and it was Madden, right? Or like Electronic Arts. This would be private label. But the nuance you want to understand is basically when a listing is consistently below 3 sellers, it automatically will say suspected private label alert on SellerAmp every time. So yeah, that's basically how it works right there. Yeah. Yep. Just dropped off my first product. Let's go, Freddie. That's what I'm talking about, man. Good. Awesome. Cool.
You'll remember that one for a while. See, you've been submitting information, keep getting denied. I mean, I would just get them on the phone with that, Sean. They think that you're like submitting somebody else's paperwork or something like that. Or they might think you already had an Amazon seller account. Maybe if you moved into a house and that person who used to live there sold on Amazon, there could be some confusion there, like if that address is still linked to one. Yeah, I would just try to call them on that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Reddit post from the Amazon employee that got taken down about why they say no quite often?
No.
I did. Yeah, that was a while back, right?
Yeah. It was like 6 months ago. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was like somebody looking at either ungating or account health, the way they were like talking about it.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for context, like there's basically a thread. Somebody is saying like, I work at a big company. All I do is just decline people's applications all day, which makes total sense. Because when they were describing it, like it's like, hey, I'm punished if I let people through, and I shouldn't have, but I'm not when I just decline everything. So like they're just sitting there spamming decline. So that's why like you can buy directly from a brand or directly from a distributor that's authorized, and they're just still getting denied on stuff.
Bang. Best way of tracking cash flow? Boxem Analytics. Yeah, definitely Boxem Analytics, MWT Sniper. I also have had a lot of just kind of personal enjoyment of understanding the business better by building like my own type of balance sheet in Google Sheets as well too.
Just like a super healthy, just like baseline equation. Just make sure that your bank account is always bigger than your next credit card payment as a way to just guarantee that you're not gonna go under. Some people add Amazon balance into that if you want to be a little bit riskier.
Ooh, okay. Good question from Leon here. Says, for SellerAmp settings, if we are using a prep center, how much money do we need to input? Generally input 0.8 if we're using a prep center. No, it should be 0.8 regardless, because you still have to pay inbound shipping regardless of whether you're using a prep center or not to actually fulfill the inventory.
Make sure to put your prep costs in there too.
What's that?
I said, make sure to put your prep cost in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, so for the prep fee part of settings, you want to put that in as well.
Absolutely. Chris, you said you dropped your second box off at UPS. You love to see it. I know I
That's
was
well
talking
done,
to some sellers last night. That are like brand, like they've been selling for like 4 or 5 months. They're like, 20K plus deep, and they still haven't done FBA yet because they've just been FBM and all.
Yeah, that's
all
the way to do
Q4,
it
so
when you started when they did.
people getting kind of dialed in with those FBA shipments. It is, you do get spoiled when you start doing a lot more FBA. It's like, this is a lot easier.
Yeah, and that's where most people settle in long term is FBM during Q4 and then FBA the rest of the year, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris getting another pack, more
Yeah, right.
products showing up on the front porch.
More wealth delivered there.
We
Hey,
when I
flex
was
on,
still
flex on
when
a
I was-
Miles. I see you.
What's that?
when I was still you got it.
Oh.
No, Miles was low key flexing in the camera.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Adjusting his hair.
When I was still like shipping everything to my crib, we'd have like 4 or 5 trucks a day. Dogs are always freaking out. Like I'm sure that's
Over the wealth getting delivered.
yeah. That they want in. The dogs are just asking for the sauce. How much will it be per unit? Yeah, Leon. I mean, your prep center is going to tell you how much your prep's going to cost ahead of time. Usually, it'll be like volume based. And if there's no volume based, then ask them about one because they'll give you volume pricing if you're sending a ton and there's no like preset volume pricing, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so they're all going to be unique there. Would you meal prep Domino's?
That's my college roommate did that. That's what you got to do to get by. Sometimes you got to hit the Domino's, buy one get one, put 2 slices for a meal.
Absolutely,
that keeps you going for a week.
Remember when Romer went through the phase where he was like only eating chip?
That
Chipotle?
was so funny.
He would get like Chipotle like weeks and weeks in advance and just meal prep it out.
Yeah, Casey from Kickflip does that too. I saw on his IG story.
For sure. What's up? Chris said, try to use Solar Essentials was confusing. Switch to box. Nice. Yeah, glad that was helpful for you there, man.
That's awesome.
Make the process a lot easier for you and everything, man. That's what's up. Glad it was helpful. Yeah, and that's really the goal of Boxem is to just make it substantially easier, right? And as I know, a lot of you guys are getting started, this time of year, right? Like all you need, SellerAmp, Keepa, Boxem, watch a bunch of our videos, listen to the podcast. Chris is a good podcast. We have a good podcast too at Buy Box Bandits and everything, and all that. Yes, exactly. So that is a category on gate you'd have to do there. Yeah.
Yep. What's up? Said, what leads you find better results on things with Amazon or no Amazon? I mean, obviously, if you have no Amazon, that's going to be better. Yeah. But a lot of people are like scared of things that Amazon's on for no reason. So you can check you look at like the Keepa offers tab. You can see like kind of more realistic expectations. Say Amazon dominates the buy box on the East Coast, and that's where the data is coming from. But then the West Coast people are making sales. So you could see that on like the offers tab, or if you just see like the buy box trending under Amazon, then that's like an obvious place to
which
go
is
and
interesting
make some money
that
on
they do that. It's very true that they do that.
It used to just like I don't know. I feel like it's very probably of us when we're getting into it, it's like, oh, Amazon's there, run away, right? But that's what everybody's doing. So
yeah, because those types of rules are just easier for beginners.
Below the third-party buy box, which is being actively dominated. It's like
that would be an interesting.
Those are the weird ones. I've seen those. I have seen those for sure.
But it's like Amazon, just adjust your price. Like people
Amazon, come make money with us up here.
What's up?
Just like, hey, Amazon, come make money with us up here. You don't have to be losing money on this product.
Like in reality, Amazon's not a very good seller. They're just a moving company, a logistic company that moves products very quickly from one place to another. But as a seller, like Amazon is very, very subpar. A lot of people don't understand that and don't realize that. And once you start taking advantage of the instances where Amazon is showing their cards of not being an Amazon seller, there's tons of money to be made.
Yep. So there are a couple bigger brands in the grand scheme of things. Some big brands, probably somewhere between like 10 and 50, that require those high unit ungates, maybe 100 total. But of the tens of thousands of other brands, the vast majority of them are either 10 units or auto ungate, and everything you should be selling to your beginner is either auto ungate or 10 units right there. So that's what I would focus on. Amazon's the middle band. Exactly. Yeah. So Chris, spot on with that. Good question from Pam. If you're ungating a certain brand, and it requires 10 units, does it have to be the same ASIN on the documentation? So it doesn't have to be, it can be more than one email confirmation or more than one invoice, but it does have to be the same item, at least shown in 10 plus units between them. So yeah. So basically like, some sites limit you to 5 per card or 10 per card or anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazon's not even really a middleman at this point. They're like the stuff they sell first party, ton of it they lose money on just to get people on the platform so that you go shop from people like us. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
that's
A good
why
point, too.
that's why like Amazon, it's in their best interest to do everything they can to protect resellers. Sometimes brands don't want the resellers, but like it's in their best interest to have a ton of us going around and saying, hey, here's this thing that we know sells 50 times a month, but no one really wants to do it besides, the sea of resellers that'll fill the gap. So Amazon loves that money because we come in and just make them money for doing basically nothing, and then they bring the customers by having those like flagship cheap first party sales.
Easy to make money when all your inventory doesn't cost a penny.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sweet,
And
sweet.
then, then sometimes you decide other people's inventory costs a penny, and you you arbitrage the
Right.
difference is the thing they like to do this year. Or I guess that was like
Not
late
only
last
does your inventory not cost anything, but you make 20% on every sale.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in for the first Money Monday of the year. So make sure to check out all Chris's stuff he got going on at Clear the Shelf. And then Warner and I have a free class tomorrow night as well, too, at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can tap in on as well. So just put the link in chat in the description right there. And everyone, y'all have a great one. And let's get after y'all for 2026. Let us know how we can help.
Absolutely. Appreciate
Have
you
a
guys.
good one. Have a good